this. I mean, hard to get to 1%, let alone 2%, right?
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment, that over the course of the last decade, they've hardly had the best of outcomes when it comes to targeting inflation. But of course, what we're really talking about here is they're going to keep going until they possibly achieve it. But
and
it seems to me,
what does the yen do in the meantime? We got, 89.67 is where we got to dollar yen.
Okay, well, if we go back historically and we look at moves in dollar yen in the past, when you get the big turns in dollar yen, you can go back to 1995, you can go back to 2002, you can go back lots of periods in the 1980s. When the turn finally comes, they tend to be extremely aggressive indeed. And so it's not just going to be a move to 90, this is going to be a move to the mid-90s. It possibly could even get as far as 100 over the course of the next 12 months, because that's the kind of scale of move you get. All of that's simple enough. I mean, we can understand what's happening to the yen, we can understand what Japanese investors are going to do on the back of that. Of course, they're going to start looking overseas. What's interesting about this is what it means for the other nations in the region.
Well, let's talk about currency wars. Let's talk about where Korea fits in, where the Brazils fit in, the Switzerlands fit in. Where do you stand now on this currency war issue?
Well, I think that 2013 looks as though we've had a full-scale revival of this. What is interesting at the moment is that it's not the US primarily driving the currency wars. That has historically been the case, but it really is about Japan more than anything else. You can see that in the way that South Korea has been intervening aggressively to try and keep some kind of competitive edge for its exporting companies against Japan in this move down. Now, you saw comments coming out over the weekend from the South Korean finance minister, re-highlighting what's said in the G20. It's interesting that it's not just him saying that, though. We also had the comments from Mario Draghi last Thursday. He's all too well aware of this as well. So all eyes are on Japan. And you've got to feel that if they continue to do this, it's not just going to be South Korea that picks up intervention in the market.
Let's finish up by throwing the yuan in there as well. Of course, that hit a record high for a second straight trading day. This is a dollar story, really, isn't it?
It is a dollar story, and the great news is that over the course of the last 15 months, really since September 2011, China has pulled away from the market and has been intervening far less aggressively. Its reserve growth in the last 15 months is extremely modest when compared to any point in the last decade. The question, though, is if they are finding their competitive position undermined not by the US but by Japan in this current environment, and remember their economy is only just starting to recover, are they going to go back into the market again and become more aggressive? That's the question at the moment.